Hello, and welcome to today's presentation. I would first like to introduce you to Team Hubert. Team Hubert is made up of myself, Michael, Hannes, Ricky, and Stephen. You're probably wondering, who and what is Hubert? Saint Hubertus, or Hubert to his mates, is the patron saint of hunting. It is also now a cross-platform mobile application that will enhance a traditional game of hide and seek to utilise real-time tracking with Google Maps. The idea was born mostly out of my own nostalgia of the good old days of playing hide and seek out with my friends for hours on end, and an imagining of how this traditional childhood game could be enjoyed by all ages using mobile technology. Now I'll pass the torch on to Hannes, who will demonstrate the application in action.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the app with you guys and show you the features we've added in to the app. And you can see that we're starting with registering a new user, and there we have validation to make sure that we get the right format of the email, we get a strong enough password, and that both the passwords are matching. But you can also see that first name and last name is optional, so you don't need to fill that in, so I will skip that for now. So when you're finished with that, it's time to log in. And here you can see the welcome page. I'm going to go to my user profile, and there I'm going to upload a photo. I'm going to choose from gallery, but you can also take a photo directly through your phone. It's going to take a couple of seconds for it to upload to the backend, but when it's done, it's going to get rendered on the profile page. So now me and Michael are going to show you how the game works. So on the left screen, he's creating a room, and when he's done that, he's going to get the room password that I need to type in to be able to join the same room. When I've done that, he can go to the game settings and change the seek time, hide time, the radius you're allowed to be within, and who's going to hide. There are default settings, but you can also change them. So now we're going to move over to Michael's screen. So this is the hider, and you can see the radius where you're allowed to be within, and now he's moving away to hide, and he got 5 minutes to do it. And I'm going to speed it up a little bit. He can see where I am, but later you will see that I'm not able to see where the hider is. So here he's going to set the hiding point, and as soon as he do that, the seek time is starting. And now to my screen, I get the notification that it's time to hunt. So you can see that I've started to move now, and if we move over to Michael's screen, you can see that the marker is also moving. And we're going to speed up so you don't need to wait too long. When I'm getting close to Michael, I will get the found hider button, which I can press, and that will give Michael an option of confirming or denying. And you can see here that he denied it, and I need to continue searching. So I'm moving a bit further and trying again, and here you can see that Michael gets a notification, and this time he confirms, and you get the lobby page again where you see the winner. So here you can see the in-game chats that we have, where you will be able to chat to each other, but also an opportunity for the hider to give the seeker some clues. The last thing I want to show you is that the hider is also able to win the game. So I put the seek time to 1 minute, and I'm using an emulator to show you this. And the seeker is at the moment going the wrong way. And here you can also see that when you get out of the radius, you'll get a warning. So you will see a big jump here. And you can see when you get outside of the circle, you get a warning message saying that you need to get back into the area. And when you move back in, you will see that the message disappears. And now it's only a couple seconds left until the time has run out and the hider wins. And you can see that Michael won this time. So this is the app and how it works.
Above is an overview of all the technology choices we made across the front and the back end of Hubert. We decided to use node.js and Express to build our back-end server. This tech stack is familiar to us all, and as our application is very front-end heavy, we wanted to get the back-end up and running as soon as possible to focus all our efforts on the front end. We did, however, use some unfamiliar tech on the back end. We decided in the planning phase we wanted to use a NoSQL database, as we'd use Postgres throughout the course, so we settled with mongoDB. This proved to be flexible, easy to use, and well suited for our dataset. As our application is a multiplayer game, we needed a real-time communication between the front and the back end. We decided upon Socket.io, which enabled us to create and join games, trigger in-game events, and provide real-time chat between players. In the design phase, we also decided that it is important for us to build an authentication system so users can sign in and register for an account. We achieved this by using two technologies. Firstly, BCrpyt to hash the passwords for safe storage in the database, and also to verify the user's password on login. And secondly, JSON Web Tokens to provide the users with a token on login so the front end can interact with the back end securely.
So on the front end for the idea that we wanted to develop, we knew that we would be creating a mobile app. Early on in the process, we decided to go with Flutter and Dart as we wanted to challenge ourselves with a new piece of software programming language. There are a lot of benefits to using Flutter that swayed our decision. We also knew that the backend we utilising technology we were pretty familiar with, so using Flutter would have given us the opportunity to broaden our knowledge and experience. We didn't make the decision just after a quick chat though. We spent some time independently looking into how Flutter worked and came back to discuss what we thought about using it for the app. General thoughts were that there was a lot of documentation for support, there was capability to build for iOS and Android, and there was excellent integration with maps that would be what we thought would be the most time-consuming part of the front-end development. So ultimately we made a decision as a group to go with it, and it's proved to be a positive learning experience. Although we looked into a number of different ways to use maps, which map to use, Google Maps was the simple choice to make, really, with the integration with Flutter. We also use Socket.io for the front end to enable users to create and join lobbies, as well as communicate during a game in real time. Although the implementation of sockets on the front end proved to be challenging, and it really enabled us to build on the in-game features, which was something we were really looking to develop as much as possible.
So during the time we were making this app, we did encounter some challenges. One of them were in the in-game features, where we had to have a timer. The timer had to work between two devices so that the game would finish at the same time. And we found that harder than we really expected. Flutter was another challenge. That's a technology we never used, and it took a while to get used to it. With Socket.io, there is no official plugin for Flutter, so the plugin we used didn't have very good documentation for integration, so therefore it took a while to get it to work.
So for things that we would probably do differently in the future, we would reduce the amount of features set out for the MVP. During initial planning, we came up with a number of in-game features that we wanted to build into the game, such as in-game chat, sending clues, recording scores, push notifications to the hider and seeker. We probably underestimated the amount of time that each of these would take to implement, and so reducing that from the outset would have made our lives a lot easier over the previous 2 weeks. We'd also take more time to learn about how to use Flutter a bit better from the beginning. So although there's a lot of documentation out there, we still would have liked more time watching and reading about how people have implemented the things that we did. This probably just would have saved time later on in the project. and would have allowed us to focus on solidifying the in-game logic. We started this a bit later than we probably should have. But yeah, that's just a time issue that all projects come across, and just a learning experience for us all with that.
Thank you all for watching our presentation. Please leave any questions in the comment section below.